ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமான்னு கேளுங்கப்பா. ஃபேன் பயங்கரமா வேர்க்குது. ஆமா வேகுது.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Meera. Can we start, Meera?
Yes, ma'am.
But the students have not come again. Don't record all this. Start recording only when it is started.
32 have joined. 35 have joined, ma'am, so far.
But we have said repeatedly they have to join 5 minutes before the time commences.
Yes, ma'am. 8:45 also I just gave a reminder to them. Hello, good morning, Prabhu. Prabhu, can you hear me? Prabhu, can you speak to me? Hello, Prabhu? Can you?
Hi, yes, ma'am. I can able to hear you, ma'am.
Yeah. Good morning to all. On behalf of PSG College of Nursing, Principal, Faculty, I welcome you all, dear students, to this great webinar which is going to happen today. Today we have with us an achiever in the field of neurosurgery and critical care currently, and best student nurse in the past. I have witnessed him as a unique role model to our nursing buds, and genetically linked to nursing as his mother is a nurse. A sincere, dedicated personality in clinical practice is Mr. Prabhu. He has completed his MSc Nursing in Critical Care Nursing at College of Nursing, Jipmar, Puducherry in August 2020. And very happy to introduce him as one of our best alumni, graduated during August 2016. He has acquired skills at the bedside nursing care, particularly critically ill patients, at best in CPR, and assisting in procedures like endotracheal intubation, defibrillator application, insertion of central line, test tubes and peripheral lines, wound management, endoscopy, colonoscopy, and bronchoscopy. He has attached his milestones in the profession, like he has been an active member and worked as office bearer at the SNA unit as vice president at our institute. He has conducted many poster presentation at the state and national level biennial conferences. He has been a winner in many intra-collegiate, intercollegiate, and state level quiz competitions and English elocution. Very best to present about him is he has been nominated as disaster recovery representative, and he has been a first aid responder in many health camps and mass public gatherings. With this intro about the resource person today, I welcome Mr. Prabhu, where we are privileged to have you here as a resource person to speak on the topic organizational behavior and public relations in nursing. I hope his thoughts would enlighten our student fraternity and others in their clinical learning experiences regarding the subject of nursing management and administration.
In addition to that, I need to say that Mr. Prabhu is this one. He has been sponsored for the fundamentals department students who obtained first mark. He was sponsoring those students. The amount has been given by him. So we must be really thankful for your generosity, Prabhu. and he was a gold medalist also in our college. And we really thank you for accepting our invitation and to be with our students today. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. And over to you, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Very good morning, ma'am. First of all, I need to thank our principal, ma'am, for organizing this wonderful this Zoom meeting through virtually, which we can able to get in connect in this pandemic situation. And I also thank the organizing secretary of this webinar, and also to all the peoples who are making it possible virtually online. I thank Almighty also for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, ma'am, for giving me a very detailed introduction about me. I'm so glad, and it's my great pleasure for being with you. So I think I can start my presentation. So today in this pandemic situation, I think this might be a topic of the hour, because in this situation where a huge healthcare worker, the great manpower, is trying to manage the situation to their utmost to make the peoples who are in this pandemic to be in a safer area. So my topic, which I chosen for this hour, is organization behavior and public relations in nursing. So let me directly go into the topic. I just share my screen. Hope you will be able to see my screen. Ma'am, it's coming like host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, okay.
Still, I'm getting the same message, ma'am. Host disable the participant.
We'll get it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can share my PPTs, which I have sent it through your mail. Ma'am. You can able to do it like that also. Yeah. The first slide, ma'am. Organization behavior theories and concepts.
Okay. Is it okay? Right?
Yes, ma'am. But I can't able to see my slides.
You opened it, no?
No, ma'am. I just see only the folder desktop. I can't able to see my slides. Still the PPTs are not visible, ma'am.
Maybe. Now? Is it okay now? Or you
No, ma'am. Still the screen is the same. I can able to see only the folder with the 4 PPTs. Okay. I can able to access now. Yeah, I can able to access. Yeah.
Okay, we can start now. Prabhu?
Yes, ma'am, but the PPT is not yet opened in my screen now.
But we have opened it here.
Okay.
Be able to see.
It's not visible from my side. I just seeing only the 4 PPTs.
Okay. We are just looking into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you put your remote control in off? Can you keep your remote control in off?
Remote control. Okay.
Remote control off mode la vekkringa. Can you keep it in off? Remote control option, keep it in off. Are you able to?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now I can able to do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So the first part of slides goes with this things, this Uber, Swiggy. You have nowadays in this online virtual world, we are using this online platforms a lot. So when you are using this particular use platforms, have in your mind, are these platforms, how do they function? How are they going to, like, how do they function it physically? Though they are in this virtual world, do you think do you have an idea how it functions? Especially this Uber, they doesn't have a particular stationary office in the world, but they do control all different fraternities of jobs. Like they own they own the cabs, they own the food industries, they own the courier industries. A lot of different industries are being owned. Next slide. How can I go for next slide? Yeah. So like in these things, you can able to see, like, they have different departments in them. Like they have CEO, and they have chief functional officer. They have different departments like engineering, data science, business, designing. So different HR department, marketing department. So they have different departments put together, work together as a team. They do us the service what we are enjoying it now. Similarly, when we consider in our health department, in our medical department, so we are not a single person to work. So we have different journals of peoples coming together to provide the patient care. So in this time, so that's the most important. Next slide, please. Yeah. So that's the important thing which I want to try to figure it out to you. So the most important thing which we are in need in this pandemic situation is, like, we must know how to organize the different peoples, get the different manpower put together and work for the patient welfare. That's the important thing. So that's what my topic is about, the concepts of organization behavior. Next slide, please. Yeah. So what do you mean by the term organization? So in simpler terms, it is like every human, like there are different individuals are there. They're all get associated, they're all get it coordinated only for a single common purpose, a single unique purpose. That is the goal, that what we are, all the different peoples are working together to achieve that common goal. That particular team, we call it as an organization. We have our nursing organization, we have our medical organization, different organization. Next, you can go for the definition, like what is the actual definition for the organization behavior. So here we have a new term, behavior. So behavior is nothing but here it's like how you practice, how you put yourself on the field. Like it's nothing but you are just able to study about the each and every individuals who are involved in that particular organization, him and the organization, and organization as the whole. That's the important thing. That is the interaction between the individual and the organization. So if you are working in an organization or a community or a group, how you are interacting with that group, how you are getting gel with that group, that's the most important thing we are going to try. We're going to study in this organization behavior. So this is most important. So just let me say about the next type, nature of organization. Next slide, please. So the nature of organizations can be dealt in a simple words in the terms of 4 P's. The 4 P's includes the first and foremost is the purpose, and the process, then the person and the place. So the purpose is nothing but you must have a common sole purpose, a single purpose or a single goal which we are working towards. For example, if we considering this pandemic situation, our nursing, all our medical profession, medical organizations are working towards reducing the death rate because of this pandemic COVID. Then the process, how we are going to put that process on the flow, on the track, how you try to implement the what are the things, what are the interventions, or what are the strategies, how we are going to implement those things on the track, on the field. That is the process. Then followed by the person. This includes the particular manpower, the particular individuals who are involved in that particular organization. Finally, the place, the field, or it is a situation where you are going to work. It might be the hospital, it might be the community, or it might be the places elsewhere in the world. So this is the important things of an organization. So for an organization to function, all this purpose, process, place, and person, everything must be in a single, it has to work in coordinated manner. Next slide, please. So coming to the theories of organization behavior. So these theories are nothing but these are they are given, these are the written scripts or the written set of norms which we can able to figure it out. There is some audio disturbance. Which we can figure it out what it can be done. First and foremost, it's an administrative theory. This was proposed by the General Foyles. So you all know he's the father of our management. Next slide, please. Yeah. So he defines a set of 5 important management functions. Like, next slide, please. Yeah. It's like planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. So these are the basic 5 functions. You people might be knowing. So whenever we study the management, we can't study without this 5 functions. Then he also proposed 14 principles. Through those principles, we can able to do you can able to manage an organization to the fullest potential. The first and foremost, the division of work, where we specialize the work based upon the individual's talents and specifications. Next is you can just keep on pressing. Yeah, thank you. Next is the authority. It's like the power, it's like the power invested in the individual to do your work. And responsibility is like you have to do the delegated work which is allotted to you. That is the responsibility. Then you must have a discipline. You must have set of norms, and you must have a unity of command. You must have the person. You must receive the command from a single source. Then you have the unity of direction. Like you must have a certain hierarchy. Like from our we must receive our orders from our managing director or the office superintendent. Then the next is the subordination of individual interests than the general interest. So you must neglect the individual interest and give more importance for the general interest as a whole group. You must not give importance to the individual interest. Next one. Then you must give some remuneration for the personnel. So remember something, but we are giving some rewards for the persons who are involved in the organization, so that the organization can able to function to the utmost, and it will make the persons more happier. Then we must have the centralization. Nothing but we are trying to have a defined set of hierarchy from the from the upper level management to the middle level, then to the lower level. Then we must have the proper line of authority. Then we must have a proper order set of defined rules. And equity is nothing but here we have a defined where we have to treat all the individuals in a particular level of management at the same level, then you must have the stability of tenure of personnel. It's nothing but you must have maintain the proper turnover of all the employees or all the individuals in the organization. Then we must have a good initiative. It's nothing but we must provide, the particular organization must provide a good motivation factor for all the individuals in the organization. Then it must have a E-spirit, D-scrop. Nothing but we must develop a good team spirit. Next slide, please. So then we have the bureaucratic theory. It's nothing but the term itself says it's a bureaucrat. Nothing but in our modern times we have all the bureaucrats. Nothing but our IAS officers, IFS officers, different officers are there. So in this thing, mainly we have the two terms, mainly the power and the authority. So this is the most important terms in this particular theory. Its power is nothing but here you have the authority, or power is nothing but you have the potential to like it has the main capacity, or it must have the ability to do the things. Then authority is nothing but you have the power to delegate those things into the particular individual. In that we have traditional authority, nothing but which comes as per the cultural norms. Charismatic authority is nothing but which is inborn and nothing but it is a unique nature of a particular person. Then regional legal authority, which is a set of defined rules which we have in our judicial system. Next, please. Then we have systems organization theory. Here is nothing but we are considering the whole organization as a system where we have three main things: input, throughput, and output. Next slide, please. So its input is nothing but all your man, money, and material. Throughput is nothing but about what are the process, how you are manipulating all your man, money, and material, and to go your outcome. So outcome will be your products and services, which with reference in our context, this is our patient care services. Next slide. So I have brought a small journal, how to implement this thing, what is the current thing, how we are implementing this systems theory. Next slide, please. So in our current things, the inputs mainly involves we have our own material resources, physical resources, all our information, all our manpower, including healthcare professionals. And throughput is how we are going to manipulate all those inputs. We have a proper structural, we have the technology, we have the different staffing patterns, and we have the different work environment, specialized ICUs, specialized technology, scientific technologies, which we are using currently. So through all these processings, we have our final output, which shows about which finally comes out as a patient's good health, patients getting a reduced mortality, patient is able to discharge at a faster rate, able to get the required information at the proper time. So these are this is the application of the system theory, which I feel this theory is to be mostly applicable in our system, current system. Next one, please. Next slide. And next is the contingency theory, contingency approach theory. It's nothing but this is situational theory where we have to act as per the situation. So no particular theory can able to help you, or we can't stick on to a single theory. So we must act as per the situation demands. That is with this contingency theory. So almost we must have a plan A and plan B. If plan A doesn't work, we must go for a plan B. So that's what the situation theory says. Next slide, please. And then we have the integrated delivery system, which is nothing but it's a combination of different situations, in some situations we can use the systems theory. In some situations we can use the administrative theory. In some systems we can use the systems theory. So we are going to integrate all different things from there is a supply or the source for two or more different sources. We are able to put together and we can able to make it possible. So I given some this is not more prevalent in our Indian society. It's more prevalent in American and other Western countries, where, next slide please, where in hospital where in hospitals, they do care not only the patient, they do care for their individual, their family, and also not only the physical care they provide, they also provide the economical care by providing the medicline, like the financial support, and also they do care about your professional part, your personal family part. So everything, it's being monitored with the help of the government, including the government also helps the individual both financially, economically, and it's like a holistic manner how you care a person in organization. Next one, please. Yeah, in our JIBMA, as I am working here, JIBMA Hospital, so we do have we do have people's they are based upon their economic situations, we do care patients who are having a lesser monthly income of 2,500, we provide free care, and patients who are having more having more than monthly income of 2,500, we do pay the charges. So it's like dependent upon the individual who are attaining the care. That's the most important. Next slide, please. No, the previous. Yeah. So so we have, it's not only the purely free basis. They provide the care as per the individual's requirement and individual's capability. That's the important thing we can able to see. They have the different charges you are seeing in the PowerPoint, like the individual charges, diet charges, and different as per the different income of the individuals, you can able to gather. Next slide, please. And also we have different this is a Mayo's clinic which is being you can able to you must have appreciated in the Australian government, where do they provide different services that they have. Next slide, please. They have given a lot of the holistic approach of caring of the individual citizens of their particular communities being carried by this Mayo Clinic. This is also one of the example for this integrated system. Next slide, please. And coming to our government, in our Tamil Nadu government, we have 108 emergency ambulance, which is an integrated approach by the Tamil Nadu state government, and also EMRI, that is the Emergency Management Research Institute. It's an integrated approach by the two different organizations, Tamil Nadu state government and also this Emergency Management Research Institute. This is one of the important examples for the integrated system. Next, please. So this is the institute we are combining with the state government, GVK EMRI. Next one. Yeah, and we do have government institutes being supported by the private institutes also, like Rajiv Gandhi Super Specialty Hospital, which is also being supported by the Apollo Hospitals groups. So it's like the people from the it's like public-private partnership, that is PPE. That's the most important thing. So we have the integrated help from the government as well as the private, so that we can able to manage the whole organization in a better way. Next one. Then comes the scientific management theory. In this theory, mainly what we are it's been in this theory what we are going to see is about how we can able to manage the organization with the help of the manpower by analyzing the manpower, and thereby we can provide certain training for the manpower, and thereby we can able to understand how an employee functions, and thereby you can be able to improve the level of the performance. That's the most important thing. Here we are analyzing the employee by means of the time and what is the required time to complete a particular task, and thereby we can able to improve the performance. That is with the scientific management theory. Next one. Yeah. So there comes the ends with all these theories. So all these theories like systems theory, integrated management theory, scientific management theory, administrative theory, bureaucratic theory. So all these different theories says us how we can able to bring up an organization, how we can able to manage an organization to the uttermost thing. So there is no particular theory, like we can't able to stick to a single theory. So we have to have a holistic approach and we have to apply the different theories as per the situation. That's the important thing. Then coming to the minimum requirements for organization of nursing care. This is the practical approach, how we are going to apply the organization principles in our nursing care, thereby to attain the patient welfare. That's the important thing. So first and foremost, we must have a proper mission and vision. Thereby, we have a defined set of goals through which we are working for. That's the most important thing. So whichever organization you have taken, they will have a mission or vision. PhD hospitals has their own mission. Our PhD College of Nursing has a particular mission vision. So without a mission and vision, it's like an it's like you are sailing a road without any address or without any map. It's like that. So it will be hazard for the whole, not only for the organization, for all the individuals in the community. Next slide. So so here you are seeing we have we have a director, medical superintendent, chief nurse. This is a hierarchy which we have in our central government institute, like JIBMER or AIMS. We have this is our hierarchy of structures. So whenever you have an organization, it must have a hierarchy. So you must have a top, middle, and lower level management to handle the organization. So that's what you are seeing here. Next slide. So that's we call as a hierarchy or a scalar principle. So here you can see a gangplank. So this is a simple diagram to represent how a hierarchy functions in an organization. Like the person in the A is considered to be top level, and person in the B, C considered to be the middle level, and the person in the D, E, F considered to be the lower level. So the person in the lower level, especially the F and K, can't able to directly approach the top level, the A. So he has to go through the middle level, then the top level. So it has to be step by step, not a direct jump from the lower level to the top level. It can't be possible. So it must have a hierarchy. It must have a step by step approach in order to function an organization. Next is unity of command, where we must receive a single command. It has to be from a unique authority where the person command must be the final. So there must not be any changes of the command. That's the important thing. If you have an MD or managing director, if you have a dean, it has to be from the director, it has to be given properly. If you have we have a principal and we have a vice principal, so the direction has to be come from the principal ma'am to the vice principal. It has to be in the step-by-step manner. It has to be single command. Next slide. As I already said, we have at a hospital level, we have a director, medical superintendent, then followed by chief nursing officer, then we have a nursing superintendent, then we have the deputy nursing, and we have the assistant nursing superintendent, then we have the senior nursing officers. Next slide. Then we have a right approach, not a wrong approach. So right approach in the sense it has to be the individuals in the organization must know whom we have to approach. That's the most important thing. He must know the defined set of rules for that. Next one. Then the span of control is nothing but how many people you have. If you have a supervisor in your ward, if you have a nursing supervisor, so the nursing supervisor can able to manage only 4 staffs. That is her span of control. If you are exceeding that limit, definitely it will become a great chaos. So how many individuals can be managed by a particular authority? Only those number of people can be given for a particular authority. Next one. So it's the same thing. Next one. Yeah, by our TNI and our Indian Nursing Council, so we have a specific nurse-patient ratio by which we can able to. This is span of control. They say, for a one chief nursing officer, she can able to manage 500 beds. So this is the span of control of a nursing officer. Of a nursing superintendent, she must be for 400 beds, one nursing superintendent is a must. For 300 beds, one DNS is a must. For 100 beds, one ANS is a must. For 3 beds, one nursing officer is a must. So this is the span of control. So with this span of control, one organization can able to function with the maximum efficiency. If you are exceeding the limit, then the whole organization will be collapsed. So we can't able to utilize the manpower will be exhausted. This is a current manual of providing the nurse-patient ratio. So that what is being practiced in central government institute, like in JIBMER and AIMS, we do practice these things. And in other private hospitals and in state government hospitals, they do follow these things. Next one, please. Yeah. So this is like we are having like different things like these are like if you see a factory, if you take in a factory, we have a different departments. We have inspection department, we have welding department, like different departments are there. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. So each and every department has their own unique capacity. So they must have a proper specialized work for each department. So you must know to segregate the work as per the departments. For example, in our, if you consider our nursing department, we have like medical surgical nursing department, we have obstetric gynecology, we have our psychiatric nursing department. So those departments will deal with their own unique department works. That's the most important things. And also, like if you consider a big hospital, they have like we have like public relation department, we have a hospital infection control department, and we have the ICU department, we have the general OP department. So they have their own division of labor. So we must, the organization must know how to divide the works. Next one. And we must have the proper authority from a formal source. That's the most important thing. The authority must have a formal single source that where we can able to gain the command from a single authority, and it has to be a formal structure. Next one. Then you must have a proper delegating of authority where we have a defined set of rules and norms. Like we have like what persons can do what. And you must know to put the right person in the right job. So that is delegation. That's what delegation means. So you must have a proper defined set of rules for that. Next one. And we have the proper responsibilities, like the person who is delegated, the employer who is in the organization must have a proper responsibility for that. Next one. Next one, please. Yeah. So like, how do you know, like how do you know what to be done in an organization? So we have our own duties and responsibilities. Like whenever you join a whichever institute you join, it may be state government or central government or a private institute, they will give you a set of duties and responsibilities to be done. Next slide. Like you have a job descriptions. Like in our Tamil Nadu state government, we do have job description for each and every field. Like we have the job description for medical officers, staff nurse, pharmacists. Next slide. Like especially in state government institute like Ramanohar Logia hospitals. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, in AIMS. So we have a defined set. We have the each and every job description is being clearly mentioned. So we have to work accordingly so that the whole organization will go in pace with the whole holistic work, and thereby we can able to attain the patient care. Next slide. So here I have shared some of the things with that. What are all the important job descriptions? What are important duties and responsibilities of a chief nursing officer? You can able to go through it in detail. I will share slides later. Since lack of time, I can able to. I'm rushing it out. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, like we have different nursing, like different fraternities, like nursing superintendents, nursing officers, DNS, ANS, all different job description. I have mentioned it. Next slide, next slide, next slide. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, like ANS, like about nursing care, ward management. These are all the defined set of job descriptions which are being provided, and we must see to that in a particular organization. Definitely that individual or the particular person must able to follow these rules and regulations. That's the most important thing to attain that organizational behavior. And we have the nursing sister grade 1. Next slide, please. Ward management things, how teaching. Next slide, next slide. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a slide like if you're sailing in a ship and if you got a small hole in the ship, if you're among the 4 members, only 2 are working and 2 are not working, then the whole ship will be sinking. It's of no use. So all the 4 individuals must able to work together. So that's where the accountability comes. So here, all the individuals in the organization must be responsible and must be accountable for what they are doing. That's the important thing. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the accountability. Next slide, please. So there's small difference between this accountability and responsibility. It's nothing but like accountability is a person who is delegating, he's like the head, and he will be the in charge for that particular task. Responsibility is like accountability is like we have a employer, and responsibility is considered with the employee. So the employee has to be he must have his own, like he must have its own power, like not like power, and he must be answerable to what he does. That is a responsibility. Accountability, he must have the overall supervision of that particular task. Thereby, we can able to manage the situation, and he must have a he must have a hold on the outcome. That is the simple difference between accountability and responsibility. Next slide. And next is the centralization and decentralization. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. It's nothing but here. Here you have a central authority, and there we are followed by you have a top level management. From the top level, we are distributing it to the lower level management. So you have a head as a single. Then we have the subordinates. That is centralization. Whereas in case of decentralization, here we have within our department we have like we have the same level. Like in centralization, you have seen the different like top, middle, and lower. Whereas in case of decentralization, mainly within the same level of management, within like if you have a lower level of management, we must have the work has to be equally divided among the same level of peoples. That's important with the things. So within the same level of management, the work is being divided evenly. That is decentralization. Next slide. Yeah, it's like that's what these things like centralized will be like self-governance, and decentralized we call it as shared governance. Shared governance nothing but we are giving the power to the individuals of the same level of management. Whereas in case of centralized, we are giving the power invested in the different level of management. That's with the centralized. So in centralized, it will follow hierarchy, top, middle, and lower. Whereas in the decentralized, it will follow the same level of management. Next slide. Then the most important thing, we must have a proper planning. That's the most important thing. So like it's like whenever you do things without preparation or planning, it will be like great chaos. Next slide. Next slide. So you must have a different set of goals, and you must able to analyze what is the problem in the particular thing, and what are the available solutions. Then you need to implement those solutions and finally evaluate the solution. That is the important thing with the organization. Next slide. So that is the implementation. You are trying to implement the goals. Then finally you need to monitor. How the implemented strategies are working in the organization. Then finally you need to evaluate through the various methods. Like next slide, please. No, the previous. Yeah, like we have like various evaluation methods, like you have like 360-degree feedback. That is the reason why whenever we in an organization we have the feedback mechanism where we can able to judge the get the feedbacks from the people from the services what we provide, and with that feedback we are trying to modify the changes and trying to implement the different strategies. Thereby we can able to achieve the goals. That's the important thing. Next one. Then the most important thing for our organization is the communication pattern, which is most important. All the individuals involved in a particular group must be able to communicate either directly or indirectly. Thereby it has to go hand in hand within the department. It's like inter communication. Inter is like within two departments, they must have a good communication pattern. Thereby we can able to achieve the common goal or a purpose. Next one. Then we must have a defined set of goals to be achieved. Next one. This is a millennium. This is a millennium goal we are seeing, which we have set in our world. Next one. Then finally, we must have like whatever things we are doing in an organization, we must have it a quality check. So definitely, we must have a particular things for a evaluation for a quality check. Next slide. Then we have how to utilize the human resource. The whatever resource we have, the man, money, and material, you must know how to utilize it to the maximum. Thereby, we can able to achieve the uttermost performance. Next one. Then finally, the most important thing, we must keep on updating. Like we update our mobile applications every time, right? So whenever there is a chance to change, we must do it. In the situation of there are different scenarios are there. Things do change, situations do change. So we people in the organization, the policies in the particular organization has to change accordingly to make the organization to perform to the maximum. Next one. Then that is also important. We also live in a society. We also live in a different cultural. We live in a multicultural society where we are also in a position to answerable to all the different cultures in a particular society, and we need to keep in pace with other different cultures. The organization and the culture of different peoples has to go hand in hand. Thereby, we can able to attain the maximum. Next one. Then, we must have a good leader. That's the most important thing. He will be the key person to. That is the captain of the ship. So the captain must know. He must know the proper. He must know to guide, and also he must know to able to appreciate the emotional, and also he must have has the more simple empathy. That's the most important thing. Of all these all the group members, team members, and also the community where the organization functions. That's the most important thing for effective leader. Next one. Finally, you must also have about on the future challenges and opportunities. You must know how you to analyze the thing, and you must have a futuristic approach. Thereby, you can able to have the different challenges. That's the important thing. Next slide. Then we have different historical things this is the same cultural things which I already mentioned. Next one. Yeah. So this is the thing with this is the minimum requirements. What are things I have tried to say to you. Any queries you have, you can ask. Summarizing part, mainly I have dealt with all other things different organizations, what are the what is organizational behavior, and what are the theories involved, how do it function practically, and finally what is a minimum requirement for an organization to function it to the maximum. Do you have a time, ma'am?
Yeah, we have we started by 9:15, 20 minutes left out.
Yeah, 20 minutes I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then I can go with another PPT if you have.
Which do you want us to open?
Yeah, I'll go with public relations now. I'll go with
fine.
PPT number 4.
Are you able to see?
Yeah, I can able to see. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Can you see the slides?
I can able to see. Can you maximize it? Yeah. Coming to this whole great epic of Mahabharata. So you have it all. See next slide, please. So in this thing and Ramayana, that's the important thing. So you all know Hanuman, right? So why do I need to put this picture in this context now? So Hanuman remained as a bridge of communications between Rama and Sita, right? So he was the only link. In those days, we doesn't have any WhatsApp or any messenger apps. So he remained as a relation thing, as a relation between the two individuals. So currently in this world, in this scenario of global improved technology and scientific things what we have today, so we must have a communication pattern between the person, between us and the community. So in order that we have here is like we must develop a certain strategy how we can able to communicate between our healthcare department and also the public, the patient care. So that's where our public relation is coming. So you might have seen our different boards are being, signboards are being there in around the hospitals, like no parking boards and other things like are being given. So here mainly like so all these different like modes, like different boards that we see around the hospitals, like we might have seen the signboards, some bulletin boards are will be there. So they are trying to communicate, or they are trying to inform us like what has to be done. So we have an organization and we have the public. So the organization is trying to communicate to the public through means of those modes. That is this public relation. Okay. So in general, as a small definition, like it's nothing but it is a mutual understanding between the organization and public. So here organization is our healthcare team and public is our patients, our community which we are working for. So here we are trying to communicate a link between us. That is the most important with this public relation. Next one. Next slide, please. Yeah. So I need to say about what is the actual need or the purpose for this public relation. Is it really important? Like do we need? Yeah, it's really important because, for example, if you enter a hospital, you doesn't know where is the emergency department, where is the specialty block, where is the cancer block, where is the academic center, where is the college block. So if you have a signboard indicating you must go right, you must go left, you must go straight, so you can able to reach the destination properly. So that's where the public relation comes. Next slide. And you must have seen like different boards, like this is a signing board of like be aware of like you must avoid slips, trips, and falls. Like it's like the cautionary boards. Next. And like you have different you can park your two-wheelers here, you can park your cycles here. Like these are the different things which the organization is trying to communicate to the public to have as a hassle-free environment. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next slide. And then it comes about the elements. So the important elements, like these are like pillars of public relation, is like you must develop a good human relation. You must have a good empathy. Like you must know what the public is feeling. Then persuasion, nothing but you must try to make the peoples to behave in a manner with a proper logic in that. Then dialogue is nothing but we are trying to influence the behavior of the public. So it must be a positive behavior which you're trying to inculcate. Like now in this COVID situation, we must have seen a lot of bulletin boards trying to wear mask, maintain social distance. Like these are different things. So these are important elements: human relations, empathy, persuasion, and dialogue. Next slide. Then what is the important goal of this public relation? Next slide. So most important thing is like we need to enhance the service, enhance the efficiency, and enhance the quality. That's the three important things of this public relation. So ultimately, we are trying to see that we are trying to improve the patient quality care. That's the important thing. Next one. Then and you must avoid the misunderstandings or misinformation. So that's the important thing. Nowadays, in WhatsApps, we see a lot of misconceptions being shared in a wrong manner. So that is the reason why our WHO, including our Indian government, they do share a lot of advertisements in order to clearly say what are the misconceptions of COVID situations and what are the untouchability issues going on for the COVID situation. Recently, you heard in the news that if a person in a village gets COVID or gets coronavirus infected, the whole village got completely ran away from the whole village members got ran out of the village. So there are lots of misconceptions are there. So in order to avoid that, so people are trying to trying to inform the public through these public relations. Next one. Next slide, please. And also to have a healthy relationship, that's the most important. That's a mutual understanding, and it has to be positive, healthy relationships between the public and the organization. Next one. Then you have to gain the public support. Ultimately, if it doesn't have the trust, if the public doesn't have the trust, definitely they won't hear what we are saying. So we must earn the trust of the people through the public relations. Next one. Yeah, this comes to how to build a public relation campaign. Like initially starts with, you must find what is the problem, you have to analyze the problem, then you must frame a policy, then you must have a different set of strategies or tactics, then followed by you must know how to communicate to the people, like what is the medium or mode of communication which you're trying to use. Then you must have the feedback from the public. Then you must have from the feedback, you must know to assess the program. Then you have to evaluate those things. So there are different communication methods which we try to follow. Next slide. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah. So how you can able to communicate to the public? Either you can do some paper advertisements through either through paper ads or through the television ads or through the signboards. If you are traveling in a road, you must see, you might have seen different signboards, like no way, one way, like no entry boards. Like through those different signboards, we are trying to see, like no smoking signages, do not litter signages, no speeding signages, no sound horn. These are different signboards through which we can able to communicate the public. And like in our PSG also, like they are doing a lot of campaigns related with this COVID situation, like different things. These are very competitive for the students, but it also encourages the public to like, these are the things we have to follow. Like they will be communicated with these things through these initiatives taken by from our college side, from our hospital side. Thereby the public will able to catch up what the correct exact information what the organization requires. Next slide. And you must have seen some emergency evacuation plans in our hospitals, so that the public might know so where to exit in an emergency situation, how to get out of the hospital during emergency situations. Next slide. And then we have like through the complaints and compliments sessions, like nowadays we do have like WhatsApp and other. So whenever you purchase an item, definitely it will ask for your feedback. It will ask for a star rating, right? So in our hospitals, we do give feedback forms. Next slide. We do give feedback forms from the patients. And also, like we do keep the health camps. Thereby, we can able to analyze the patient's problems and address those problems. Next slide. Yeah. So, like we will be the bridge between the staff and the public. Thereby, the service can be provided to the utmost. Next slide. Then we will be having some certain committees. Certain advisory committees must be there. Thereby, we can able to we will be having a specific committee like public relation committee, or we can call it like a PRO, public relation officer. In those particular committee or particular officers, main work is to see how the information from the administration or from the organization is communicated to the public. Next one. Then we must have a speakers bureau, like the different fraternities and different personals from different organizations trying to say and try to add on to the public. Next one. Like public relation officers. So this is what I said. So in our state government institutes, central government institutes, we do have public relation officers. Next slide, please. I can hear some audio voice. Yeah, like in our aims, we have a specific post of the public relation officers. So you can, this is the organization structure. We have administrative department, finance department, academic department. So all these departments put together, they are working towards a single goal. Next one. Next one, please. So here we have the public relation officer. So we have, like in our aims, PGMR, JIBMA. So we do have the public relation officer. So he will be the chief person in trying to communicate between the administration and the public. Next one. These are the different things I have been able to go through. I share slides later. And we do have assistant public relation officer. Next slide, next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the key qualities is nothing but he must be integrating. He must be able to coordinate from different departments and able to be more creative and more. So he must have he must have orderly thinking, and he must have able to know, earn the trust of the public. That's the most important thing. So whenever we are doing the things, we will try to do the things from a person whom we have the trust. That is the most important thing. If we have more trust in WHO, because of that only we are still following whatever the guidelines issued by the WHO. So that's the most important thing. Next one. Next slide, please. So and other qualities like the person must be very knowledgeable. He must have the good communication skills, and he must have a nice, better gender knowledge, patience, other things. Next slide. So this is like coming to the various public relation tools which are using practically in the hospitals. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So back. Back. Yeah. So these are the different posters we will be using it. Different handouts, pamphlets. Like you must have seen Prime Minister's Pradhan Manjari Janani Arogya Yojana. So these are the CM schemes, CM health schemes. So yesterday also our Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has issued free treatment for all the COVID patients in the private hospitals under the CM scheme. So they are trying to do the betterment through these public relation tools, like different schemes and through these different policies. Next one. And also we do conduct different camps through the eye donation camps, and also we do have different through the medical journals, through those also we are trying to inculcate the different what are all the updated information is to be shared, not only to the public but also for all the individuals in a particular organization. Next one. And also you must have seen, this is for the stroke, be fast, balance, eyesight, face, arm, speech, and time. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is a hospital bulletins. You must have seen in hospitals. It will be fixed in different areas. What are the emergency things and also you must have seen about the cab. What are things you have to do during the code blue things, code blue situations. Next slide. Yeah, in our hospital also they have kept a lot of signage boards, how to prevent ourselves in this COVID situation. So these are the different mediums and modes the organization is trying to communicate to the people. That's the important thing. So it has to be there in the vernacular language of the public. So if you are in Tamil Nadu, it has to be in Tamil. If you are in Kerala, it has to be in Malayalam. So based upon the language of that particular people, we try to communicate. That's the important thing. Next one. Next slide, please. And also this is a common thing you have seen in all the cinemas. This ad will be coming. So these are different promotions thing to quit smoking. Even our Indian government is trying to give the slides. Next slide. And also this is a campaign for COVID behavior, COVID awareness behavior CAB, conducted by our MS nursing students of PhD College of Nursing. They have given it, they have shared it through the public, through the mass public campaigns, and through this Chota Beam also they are trying to create awareness on the public to wear masks. You must know how to gain the interest of the people, thereby the information reaches. That's the most important thing. Next slide. Then we must have some diplomacies, we must have some mutual understandings between the it's like between the public and the private, or the among the public, or between the different governments. So we are trying to build it we do have different vaccine policies between the different peoples, like from our government to the American government, and also we have different and also most important thing in the public relations is the spoken word. Like, what is the positivity that you're trying to build up in a particular person? Next slide. Yeah. And different propaganda we are trying to, especially in case of Tamil Nadu, I support Jallikattu. Things are there. It's not only this. At that time it was Jallikattu. Now it's the COVID situation is being built up. So we through the mass rallies, or through the either through the virtually or through as a mass, we are trying to communicate to the people. Next slide. Yeah, like through the blood donation camps we are giving. It's a different signage boards we are we're trying to communicate to the public. Next slide. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. Then and also through lobbying is nothing but through brainwashing. Like we are trying to inculcate the positive information through to have a nice counseling session, or through the nice brainwashing of the patients. Like we need to do it for a positive manner. That's the important thing. Next slide. Next slide, please. And also through the various campaigns, like we can go mime shows can be done in the public. This is also done by our College of Nursing students about COVID awareness things. So these are all the media with different modes. And also we have next slide. Through the public, they will have the different help desks where we can able to communicate to the public. Next slide. And finally, we have to have the different indicators for. We must know how this public relations worked on. Next slide. Like we have the patient satisfaction survey. It's nothing but the feedback form. So how all these public relation tools serve their purpose, we must try to know it. Next slide. Yeah, like we can keep the different opinion pools. We can keep even after this presentation, you might get the Google feedback link where you can poll your opinions about the presentation. So these are the different things we can able to generate the feedback from the public. Next one. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is like change organization. Like when there was situation like justice for Priyanka, and different justice for different persons in different. Now we had rally for reverse, and we have saved temples. Now we have currently we are saving for Tamil Nadu temples. Like different things are there which we can be done through virtual manner. Next slide. And we do have complaint box, suggestion box are also there. Next slide. Feedback boxes are there. Next slide, please. And also we do have volunteers in our community. Next slide, please. Yeah. And the most important thing in the public relation is different important indicators to have a reduced turnover of the medical staff. That's the most important thing. You have to mention this public relation. Next slide. And finally, you must have the proper attendance by the patients. That is also important thing. Next slide. This is a leaving against medical advice. With that indicator also, we can able to measure how the public relations is working, whether the patient is understanding us or not. Next slide. And this is a simple study which is being done in American. Like how do they what is the role of this public relation activities in hospital choice, how a person chooses a hospital. So from that, if you see the different parameters, the most with the high mean score is like it about the most important criteria is it's the behavior and the attitude of the person. It's about how a particular individual in hospital behaves, how his attitude is. That's what the most matters. If you go to hospital, how attitude of the person, how he treats, how he behaves with you. That's the most important public relation which we can able to maintain. Next slide. Yeah. So concluding this public relation, as we are all nursing staffs and different, we are working in different parts of the world, and we are involving in different organizations. So here, so whenever we see a patient, whenever we see a, like in this COVID situations, even the COVID patients cannot able to communicate to their near and dear ones. So we are the only mode of communication between their families and other peoples. So there we are the only public relation medium. So we are here. So we have to be vigilant enough, and we have to be empathetic enough to address their needs and wants, and to give an holistic and needed approach. That's what the most important is. Whatever needed by the patient, we can't generalize. There is no standard operating procedure we can't take it as a whole. It varies with individual to individual. That's what most important is. That's how we conclude with this public relation things. If you have any doubts, you can ask. That's my concluding part. You can ask. So in this COVID situations, my kind advice to all: to wear mask and frequently wash your hands and maintain social distance, which is safe for yourself and also for the community. Thank you.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, how can we communicate to the physically challenged people in the public, sir?
Yeah, physically challenged people in public manner nowadays in the various like even in our Rajya Sabha TV, that is our run by our Indian government, they do communicate to the public like physically challenged people through means of sign language. They do like people who can't able to hear through that they do sign language. Like, without the voice, they can able to communicate the mass informations. That is the reason why all the signboards, all the bulletin boards, which will be very, very simple in manner. They will be like, it will be like short and sweet, that where we can able to get it communicated very quickly for the public. Even for illiterate person, it has to be communicated. That's the most important thing. Not only for physically challenged, to whomever individual who are illiterate, for all the different communities of society, we have to communicate the health information in a clear manner. That's the most clear and simple manner. So that's the most important thing. You can use the sign language, or you can use that is the reason why nowadays in our TV systems, they do have, if you see in a small captions, one lady will be speaking through a sign language like this. She'll be saying the sign language like this. So you can, the physically challenged people can able to try to know from this to sign language. That's the important thing.
Thank you, sir.
Prabhu, looking to your presentation, it's very impressive. With your beginning of the session, you started speaking on patient welfare. It shows how dedicated you are towards the nursing service. You have given a crystal clear view on theoretical framework and its practical application. You have beautifully brought to the screen the integrated approach in the healthcare services at JIPMER and other Tamil Nadu government hospital, as well as other central government hospital, which you have quoted, where you gave an update of organization of nursing care services. Regarding your views on how public relation is processed in hospitals reaching to the public, this has aided in simple way and easy understanding for our students. And I feel your presentation has been a highlight of A to Z in the chapter of organizational behavior in nursing management. I hope students can learn how to practically apply concepts learned in the classrooms, and also added to their learning is how to prepare a PowerPoint slide for the subject of nursing management concepts. I take this moment, pride privilege to convey my sincere thanks to our respected principal, Madam Dr. A. Jayasudha, and the coordinator, Purnima, uh, for their guidance, for their support. And I would also add a note of thanks to our office secretary, Divya, for all their support networks. And PG student Tilagavati has supported me today, staying with me and listening to you so long. I thank her also. So thank you so much for spending your valuable time out of your clinical bounds today for our students' knowledge aspect. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a great opportunity being with you.
Yeah.
Thanks to all the organizing peoples and technical peoples and all students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Share the PPTs, you can able to download it. Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you.